尊敬的各位来宾，本次会议即将开始，请您尽快就座，并将手机等通讯设备关闭或置于静音状态。谢谢您的合作。
Ladies and gentlemen, the event will begin shortly. Can we please ask for you to kindly take your seats? We would like to remind you again to switch off all mobile phones and put electronic devices to silent mode. Thank you for your cooperation.
As long as we've got the panel here. Where's LB? Oh, LBJ's there. He's okay. So welcome back. We have a panel discussion with the title From Innovation to Market, Public-Private Partnerships as Pathways for Global Impact. So in respect of the heat, which by the way is pouring out of the screen here, and the time, I'm going to skip the introduction because I think that's self-explanatory. So I'll just invite my panel, Mr. Dan de Cloo from Brabant Development Agency, Hans Duisters from Sux Technologies, Hemish Aviredi from Leitat in Spain, and Lo Benjin from NICE. Please come up and take a seat. So I'd just like to start, if you would, by asking each of you in order, and we have to keep this down to like a 3-minute, 4-minute answer, because we're going to try and bring this in by 4:30. How does your organization leverage public-private partnerships to turn ideas into market-ready solutions? And specifically, how do you structure those collaborations so that they're both effective and sustainable? We'll go in order.
All right. Well, of course, it's difficult to have collaboration between different types of partners. So especially in our case, when we try to foster collaboration between governmental organizations and industry companies and institutes, they all have their own goals and ambitions. So first of all, you have to align them. And on a national level, regional level, you have societal transitions that you want to create. And on a, let's say, on a company level, on an institute level, on the research and technology side, you have new technologies that they are not aware of. So first of all, you have to explain to each other what is possible, what is your ambition, how do you want to achieve it, and then in the end, it should be a common goal to achieve certain transitions using the technology that is available or not yet available, and try to find solutions for them. So the collaboration between the three is essential. And then last but not least, if you have defined the solution that you want to build together or create together, you have to create societal acceptance for the solution that you have defined. So in the end, the acceptance by society of the innovations that we create together will create the success in the end and the transitions that we need. So collaboration is key, defining common goals, knowing what's possible and what's still impossible to define what's needed.
Thank you. Oh, Hans, partnerships that are both effective and sustainable. What do you got?
Yes. Let me share my story and the lessons learned over there. Professor Liu from the Robotics Institute gave me a call and I was sitting in the Netherlands in my desk and he said, can we collaborate in robotics? I came here, I met Professor Liu. He said, wow, you're an interesting company. Why don't you investigate whether you should set up a similar company in China? And that's what I did. So with the help of JITRI, a public company, I came here and they said, make a business plan. And I said, yeah, but I'm in the business for 25 years. I know what to do, right? But I said, okay, let's do it. I made a business plan, they reviewed it, and it became better and better because they have the China experience that I missed. So I tuned it to the local market, to the labor market, to the products that we offer. And then the next step was that JITRI helped me with a roadshow to select 20 cities that could be interested to invest in CUX. And that's what I did. And finally, we selected a few, and we ended up in Suzhou because of talent, because of being close to the market, and also to attract international talents. That was a good place for us with a good government support, but also with the quality of business that we needed. So, I am 100% owner of the CUX company, but in China I did it different. So 10% of my shares are at JITRI and 10% of the shares are in Suzhou. But 80% I'm still totally in control, but I'm connected with the government. It's easy to do business with the government because I'm a government company. I'm also an institute, so I have access to good grants and support from China, but also I'm introduced to the Ministry of Science and Technology and to the technology roadmaps that are here present. So it was very beneficial in my private-public collaboration that I met JITRI, the whole road. And to conclude, it's all about people. The management from JITRI is amazing. They're open-minded. When I talk with the management of Suzhou, I see the same common goals, having big, hairy, audacious goals. And we share that vision, and that chemistry is there. And I think that's the most important, that you choose not only the right business proposition, but also the people where you feel well with.
That's great, and it is all about the people. You can't argue with that. So, Dr. Avaretti, instead of the same question, actually, I think there's a good opening here because Hans just gave a very good example of how this has worked in China. But LATAT plays a key role in Europe, of course. You're the regional focal point for WAITRO in Europe, and a good job you do at it too. Can you give an example of how LATAT collaborates with stakeholders across sectors to turn research into market-ready solutions and contrast with the Chinese example?
Sure, Paul. Just to give you a background, we are the third most funded partner from the European funded projects, followed by the public-private partnership funds in the old framework program. So LATAT is actively involved in such public-private partnerships. In that, we had more than 126 H2020 projects. To keep it very simple, we had four-step approach: idea, build, create B2B network, and then last, replicate. In the ideation process, we are often engaging close dialogues with government and private sectors to know exactly what they are looking for, what is the process, and what is the timeline. In the build process, we are following up the basic funding coming from the local or regional actors. We're also looking at European funds or the national funds to build capacity and develop that capacity into expertise. On the third step, once we go from proof of concept projects, we go to piloting or demonstrators, and we create B2B network and monetize on that as a services. And the fourth, final, as a part of the framework of WAITRO, we replicate similar model. To give you an example and a bit of a history as well, you probably know that Nissan was quite actively involved in Barcelona. So they decided to close the facilities in the port of Barcelona. So the regional government and the port authorities and the asset owner decided what to do next. They were not sure whether to bring another industrial partner on board. After a lot of brainstorming with local regional actors and RTOs, including LATAT, we decided to set up a common platform of Industry 4.0. Those of you who have visited Barcelona, this is a 10-minute drive from the airport. And this is a phase one project with 17,000 meter square facility. Now they're already involving many industrial SMEs as well, startups, and different incubators to go on Industry 4.0. Ideation, build. In this one, all these partners in the ecosystem came together to look for European or basic funding or national funding to build expertise. As a result, we came up with a IM 3D Hub. This has become now one of the most well-known platform in Southern Europe for additive manufacturing, advanced engineering, and rapid prototyping. Few years ago, we used the platform to do a brainstorming session on aviation industry. In this case, we had a big issue. On the seats, we often sit and fly out intercontinental. You probably know we have a small one sometimes or big ones. Do you know the weight of the seat really matters, the amount of fuel it consumes? So we use this platform to reduce the seats weight, not only reducing the seats weight, but also using recyclable polymers coming from different resin sources and reducing the weight of the seats. Now this has become sort of from prototype to already validated in different use cases. I promise you these are better than the Ryanair seats. And now this has been done as a crash testing recently. Very quickly also on the other sectors, we did a platform development of healthcare living lab in Barcelona. As an output, we have a jellification-based drug delivery system. This is better than cryogenic-based systems because it's cheaper and stable samples. We also had membrane-based technologies. We had a spin-off out of it, HydroQ, and we developed softwares as well. There are many other examples, but our goal has always been idea, build, B2B, replicate.
Thanks. Dr. Law, again, a slightly different perspective because you're a chief expert at NICE and JITRI, which is building a robust innovation ecosystem, of course, to drive long-term impact. But the market changes quickly. We're working in a dynamic environment. From your perspective, what approaches are most effective in public-private partnerships to ensuring that the innovations you're putting in place remain adaptable and impactful in diverse international contexts?
I have my background in industry and in the university, and since 4 years I joined in JITRI and NICE. This is the RTO. Because today the guests are from broadband, I have also personal connection to broadband. I have worked for several months in broadband in the city Tilburg, in the Bosch Netherlands. This company, Bosch Netherlands, is #1 in the continuous variable transmission. But there is a huge challenge because of the new energy vehicles. And the EVs doesn't require any CVT. But I believe because of the Bosch Netherlands is very innovative. So I do think Bosch, the company there, is as broadband has a very bright future. Okay. So to the question, I do think there is also a dilemma between the business success and the commercialization of innovation. So if you have a project that is more than 90 or 95% the chance of success, or you want to have 100% of success, that's not an innovation project, it's an engineering project. So for the innovation project, how can we face the challenges? between the innovation idea, which is probably far from the market, and but the goal is the business success. Of the experience of JITRI, we have, I'll give some 3 points, because our JITRI Vice President Chen has presented just a presentation about the detail. As the JITRI names suggest, we are focusing on industry technology. So for industry technologies, we are strong related to market success. First of all, we should build our capacity or the know-how, which is our more than 100 institutes or some of the technology companies. This is we call in-house or R&D capabilities. The second is how can we relate to the industry? This is very important for us to understand the industry. So we built so-called joint innovation centers together with some champion private, small and medium-sized companies here locally in some industry segments. So we, through this joint innovation center, we do understand the trends or the needs from the company and the gap between their demands on the research from the public sectors like universities. So this is the second point, very important to understand the industry. And the third point is also in JITRI is the cooperative innovation. That means we should have cooperation with domestic and international innovation resources like universities, also regional or province to province, Brabant to Jiangsu. All of these cooperative innovations are very important for us. This is some main points from my side. Okay.
That's great. Thank you very much. I think I'm gonna bring this to a close fairly soon because we've got a networking session coming up, and I just really wanted to pull enough out of you guys while we're sitting in this furnace here that people can interact with you in the networking session in a more relaxed way. But let's go down the line one more time, and you all have very interesting and different perspectives, right? We have the Netherlands, we have basically China. We have Spain, and then we can count Germany at the end there. So tell us, if you were giving an advice to a young scientist wanting to start a collaboration, what advice would you offer at the organizational level to foster effective collaborations and bring innovations to market with real lasting impact? Give me your 2-minute advice to a younger self.
To younger self. Oh, wait a minute. Well, I think on a personal level, I would say to the young engineer, be open towards the knowledge and expertise of others, because you will always learn from it. And from an organizational level, don't let a failure or a fault let you down. Don't stop. Innovation is a complex process, and you need failure to understand what needs to be better. So the long-term and sustainable partnerships is also about enduring faults and failures together and learning from it. And this is something that I think that especially for young engineers, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you have to learn to get better and better and better. And this is, I think, the essential of innovation. It's a long breath, keeping in mind the common goal and the ambition that you have, but don't let failures get you down.
I think that's a really valuable message from two perspectives, actually. From the people trying to do the commercialization, to keep at it, because we all know, at least the statistic in the US is that 80% of startup companies fail in the first 5 years. And the majority of them don't fail for any reason to do with technology. They fail because of market connection. But it's also an important message, I think, to the other side, to the private, to the public, to the government side, to not deselect those that have experienced that failure and not to let that become baggage, to understand that they've learned from that failure and give them another chance, right? Right. How about Hans? You can imagine your younger self. What's your valuable advice for
somebody made
for
a lot of
shaping
mistakes.
partnerships? Go ahead.
If somebody made a lot of mistakes, it's me. And I fully agree with Dan, who says learn from it. I would like to contribute or add to what Dan says. So Darwin says it's not the strongest who survives, but the one that's most adaptable to change. So when I came to China, I'm going to give a few examples of this because I really believe that's a good lesson for the younger myself. I came here and I thought I could sell services in China. And that was not right. So solutions or products is much more better in China than services. Although in the Western world you can sell a lot of service, have long-term relationships with your customers and do projects one by one. In China, you do a project and then you say, okay, thank you, I learned how to do it. Now I do it by myself because there's such a big labor market. So we focused on products. And within the business plan that I made, I had 3 or 4 products. And actually 2 of them or 3 of them failed. But we stopped quickly with them, so fail fast, because number 4 was very attractive. The customers were really demanding, pulling the products out of our hands, wanted to have more and more. So it's very difficult to stop with number 1, 2, and 3. But actually it was one of the best decisions because you have to adapt to your environment, to the customer needs. Long story short, is not the strongest in the market who's there, but the one who's adapting fastest to change. And so being sensitive, I think that is one of the most important things for a startup to do.
Ability to pivot, as we would say back in the US.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Dr. Avaretti, it's more difficult for you because you're probably the youngest one of the lot of us. But what would your advice be to somebody starting out and how to make partnerships, to make impactful solutions?
So these are very good suggestions from other panelists. I wish I can had an interaction with you before when I was even younger. 3 things basically. Do not be afraid to take mistakes. I switched career 3 times.
Already?
Yeah. And so do not be afraid to take that leap of faith. Then this is a long-term game. Second one. So build relationships. This is the most important one. Even before building partnership, relationship is the one which will take you long way. And third is that take it easy, enjoy the life a bit, and learn from everyone.
It's good. 3 times, though. I used to be a scientist, I actually used to invent things. Dr. Law, same question. Your advice on public-private partnerships, mistakes that you've made, what would you advise your younger self? You got 2 minutes.
Okay. When I worked in the industry, I have every year have many trainings, not about technologies. It's about soft skills. So for today, it's very important for if you go to have some business, not as a simple engineer. You need a lot of skills, and very important about the leadership, about the vision, about the method, process, and the team collaboration. That's why I take so many trainings about the soft skills. So the company want us to work very effective and to have some too many brain storm meetings and so on. I do think because in China, it's especially important for the young engineer, or for me in older time, that we need some skills for the plan, because the students in the university know only about the technologies. There is no soft skills about the some process engineering and the product development and the team building. That's very important. The soft build in today's world, because of the AI and the networking is so important now. Yes.
You segue me into my favorite quote on technology transfer, which is a phrase I hate, by the way. Nobody buys technology. Try to sell it, you'll fail 90% of the time. People buy solutions to problems. You identify the problem and bring the solution, you'll make a business. I'm going to propose then that this is a good introduction to a very deep but also very diverse panel, and that we have a networking session later where you can connect individually with these good folk. And unless you really want to sit in front of this heater for another 10 minutes, I suggest we thank our panel very much and we just take this out to the networking session. So thank you all.
Yeah, exactly on the time. And as we draw close to today's event, I'd like to take this opportunity to extend my sincere thanks to all of you, to all the speakers, panelists, and the participants. Your active engagement have, empower today's event and make it very meaningful and fruitful. And really hope that in the future we will have a further connection and closer cooperation and a better innovation. Thank you again, and see you again. Bye.